comment, like, and subscribe. Push rods in, lash caps are on. Now you're going to put your rockers on. See how these have been modified. If you roll this around, you'll see a round side, and the other side, the flat side. You want the flat side on the top. So the round side at the bottom, flat side at the top. We want it to be flat like that. You don't understand how many people don't understand that, and they'll put it down here and wonder why it gets out of adjustment. But you want it on the flat side. So now what we'll do is we'll just drop these on like this. And then we'll just easily put that on there just to hold it for now. All right, so if you can see this is my timing pointer. This is top dead center, that's 0, and then my timing marks there. At this point, this cylinder's at the compression side, piston's all the way up, intake and exhaust are down. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn the motor clockwise. We're gonna wait for one of them to open. So to recap, to do the exhaust, you wait for the intake to go up and start coming down, and the exhaust is ready. And then for the intake side, you basically spin the motor until the exhaust starts to come up, like that. See how the exhaust is coming up? And now we can set the intake side. I've got the intake went up and started to come back down, so I can do the exhaust side here. The exhaust side clearly is the exhaust port. What you want to do is you want to loosen this until you have up and down play. See that? Got a little bit of up and down play. We'll put the camera here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this down until the up and down play goes away. See there? Just a little bit, tighten down, the up and down play is gone. Now, that's one part. Then you want to turn it, and I can still turn it really easily. I feel just a little drag, and what I like to do is just turn like one flat here, so not even a flat. So the up and down, like that, right? Then I'm going to tighten it down and take that out. And still turn the push rod, a little bit of drag, just a little bit. I like to turn that not even a quarter of a flat, like one flat, like maybe a quarter turn, not even that. See there? Up and down, no more up and down, just a little bit. That kind of takes 0 lash preload. And then what we're going to do is take our ratchet here, we're going to put on here, and we're going to turn this just about halfway, like that. Then we're going to tighten down our lock. And then we're going to take our socket again, now the lock's down, and we're going to turn this not quite 1/8 of a turn. And what that does is, instead of you trying to crank down on the lock, this takes everything down. So now they're all adjusted the same. So basically, you're up and down, preload, you get out of it, then you turn the push rod, you turn it just a little hair more, and that's where I like to set them. And then either do your quarter, half, or 3/4, whatever you're comfortable with. But when you're done, you don't want to end up more than 3/4. So for mine, I try to do just at a half and then another 1/8 of a turn. So I'm just between half and 3/4 total once I take the 0 preload out of it. Because if you start pushing too much, you start pushing down on the lifter. What you don't want to wind up with is you got them too tight, it hangs the valves open. So this way the lifter will still do its job and not bottom out, and your setting should be consistent. Again, probably said this a million times, as soon as the exhaust opens, do the intake. As soon as the intake opens and starts to close, do the exhaust. Shouldn't have any problem. So I've run the valves on here twice just to make sure, backed off and went back on to make sure we're good. Everything's good, everything's in here, we're ready to go. Alright, today I'm going to be talking about the Moroso valve seat tester 62390. And this is what it looks like. Comes in the box, you put the handle together, just screw it on each end, and basically you get your motor on top dead center. You can see here I got the intake off, makes it real easy to see. Both are down all the way. And you put this on like so, hook it in here. This sits on top of the rocker. And important here, you want to have an L shape, so like a 90-degree angle, and you want to pull it. So I'll let you see the number, we'll pull it, and right when you feel the valve start to open, right there, that's where the seat pressure is. So we're looking just between 100 and 120, so let's call that like 110. All right, move it over to this one, real simple. Just about exactly the same between 100 and 120. All right, and then what you do, you get every cylinder all the way up, where the lifter's all the way down, and you check it going across on both sides. And this is a very simple way to test if you have a weak valve spring. There's other ways to do it by taking a spring off and all this, but if you're at the racetrack, that's where this comes in really handy. You think you got a cylinder going down and it could be valve spring related. You just get this tool, pop it on there. You can tell really quickly if you have one cylinder or spring or something that maybe broke or something going on. So I did this on this motor before I put it back together to make sure I didn't have any spring problems. As you know, I had an issue with this motor before. I thought it was weak valve springs. Ended up being the intake gasket had dropped down and I had a leak and it was blowing out right in here, which is why that cylinder didn't fire properly. But now that we've sorted all that out, we're getting this motor a clean bill of health. We're gonna put it all together. The intake manifold will be here this week, and we're gonna start pulling this 88LX apart, pull the stock motor out, and stick the stroker motor in it. And to be stealthy, I may even keep like the stock airbox and everything on it, you know, just to give it that little bit of stealth under the hood. So we'll see. Stay tuned.